If you guys don't know what rideshare flipping is, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown on it before we get into the email. I'm also going to blur out my buddy's name because he asked me to do that. He doesn't want his name out there for an email like this. But rideshare flipping is basically where you get an Uber ride or a Lyft ride and you go over to the customer and you basically ask them, hey, can we do this ride off the app? Now, generally you don't do this with rides that are paying like $3, $5, even $10. Usually rideshare flipping is where you're doing like $20+ because that way the customer is usually paying somewhere around like 35, maybe even more than that, depending on if there's any surge going on, if the customer is getting overcharged by these apps. So you show up to them and you say, hey, you know, I see that this order on my end, this order is paying me $20 to go 25 miles. I don't mind doing this ride, but could we do it off the app so that way, you know, I can get paid a little bit more, right? I don't get scammed by these apps. And the customer ends up saving some money as well, usually between like $5 to $8 the customer ends up saving. And usually the customer pays with like Apple Pay, Cash App, Venmo, or even just straight cash. That's usually the best for people. Now, preface, I do not do this. I don't do rideshare in general, and I don't flip rides because I hate doing long distance trips, but sometimes it can be worth it when actually this buddy that sent me this email, he did a ride for I think maybe 40 or 60 miles and the guy gave him $100 in cash, whereas the app was going to give him like $45, right? Maybe $45, $50, right? He ended up getting almost double doing the order off the app. Now, there are consequences to this. Of course, if you get into an accident, you are not covered, and the person back there who you're riding can sue you, and basically it's over for you. Let's go ahead and get into the email though, because they are catching on. These companies are catching on. I just don't think that they're advanced enough to really understand what some of these rideshare drivers are doing, because you basically just get a little suspension, you get a slap on the wrist, and that's it. Which, I mean, for the people that are doing this, I mean, that's pretty good for them. The email says, your driver account continues to be flagged by riders for providing poor passenger experiences. Now, this isn't actually the customer reporting the rider, it's just the system understanding that you're canceling a lot. And it says under that, canceling too often. While we understand in some situations canceling is unavoidable, it can be disruptive for passengers. Passengers' feedback like this can lead to additional suspensions or permanent deactivation. Stop right there. I don't believe permanent deactivations is a thing. I've yet to see anybody actually get permanently deactivated from either Lyft or Uber for flipping rides, because their system just doesn't know that you're doing it, which is weird though, because it's like, think about how much money Uber loses on that ride, right? If a customer's paying $60 in the app, they lose that 60, right? Well, they lose a portion of that 60, but still, right? I mean, the Uber's losing some good money on people flipping rides. Depending on the reasons flagged, consider checking out the Learning Center for info about how to make improvements to further prevent interruptions to your account. Now, again, like I said, if you want to go out there and flip rides and make more money, because those people that do that, they're making a lot more money than someone who's just doing this, how you should be. 650, 6.9 miles, no thanks. I think I'll wait for a round robin since I'm already here at the Walmart. But yesterday, my buddy was doing rideshare flipping, and he probably made almost $200 in maybe 3 hours just flipping rides. It is a lot of miles, but still, that's a lot of money. Would you take $200 in 3 hours? Because I would. If I could do it, I would. I'm also actually kind of curious, how many of you out there also flip rides? Because, I mean, if there's enough people that do it, then, you know, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm not condoning it, don't get me wrong. I ain't telling you to do it. I'm just saying, if there's a lot of people that are doing it, and Uber and Lyft clearly can't catch on, maybe there is some money in this. Well, there definitely is money. I mean, I was mad. I was out yesterday for what, almost 10 hours, 9 hours. I made $228. My buddy goes out for 3 hours and makes $200. Oh, I was fuming, man. I was like, man, is that what it takes now? Is that how we have to make money out here, flipping rides? Imagine if you could flip food delivery. But hey, if you do it, let me know down below. And who knows, maybe somebody did it and they have like a horror story, right? Maybe they did get into an accident, which God forbid anybody gets into an accident. I don't want to see that. But man, there's probably going to be someone out there who tries this $5, 6 miles. Dang it, DoorDash. I'm about to go flip rides.